Good morning, Raptorsfreak Alexiats here, Monday morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thanks for joining me. Today is Monday, so we're doing Monday Memory, and today we're talking about a really cool game from last season. A game that meant that the win meant that they had swept the reigning champions, which were the Milwaukee Bucks the year before. It was the first game that we got to play against Giannis because Giannis had been ducking us the first two games of the series, and then he finally played. This was also a game that was played a second night of back-to-back. The night before, we had played against Detroit, and Coach Casey had got his revenge once again and beat us down pretty good. We were in a bad place. Like, Raptors Nation was really, really turning on the team that night after the Detroit game. And it wasn't pretty. And we were really thinking we're in a bad place. Well, the guys rose up and kicked some major butt against the Bucks the very next day. And this game had all kinds of interesting excitement and intrigue to it. We saw that stare down from Bobby Portis Jr. on Pascal Siakam, the headbutt after that one basket that Pascal made in the first quarter. That was interesting because it's like he's intimidating him, trying to. And Pascal took that energy from Bobby Portis and directed it into his game. And he's like, no, you're not going to headbutt me and get in my face. I'm going to show you I am all NBA Pascal Siakam, and I'm going to take over this game and help my team win. This team that we had that day was crazy. Like, listen, Gary Trent did not dress. Scotty Barnes did not dress. Khem Birch was out. I could look at the list of names of guys that were not available for this game for our team. Isaac Bonga, Khem Birch, David Johnson, DJ Wilson, Gary Trent, and Goran Dragic was still on our team. So we didn't have Thad Young yet. And they chose not to play Delano or Malachi in this game also. So we really played like 8 guys. But in reality, 2 of those guys hardly played. Like, Yuta started, but he played 5 minutes. He was a defensive liability. The Milwaukee Bucks jumped out all over us right away in that game. And Nick Nurse sat Yuta for the rest of the game, even though he started. And this is what I'm talking about. There's going to be stuff like this during the season where Precious will get to start because of games just like this. Precious was in the starting lineup for this game, and Yuta got to start in this game because Gary and Scotty were out. And, the other person that played but didn't play a whole lot was Svi. Svi played 7 minutes. He did not score. That was and then there was also Justin Champagny, who only scored 3 points in 30 minutes, but he did have 12 rebounds. So the rest of the team pretty much carried all the scoring weight, seeing as 3 of the guys on the team scored 3 points, and, that's 3 out of the 8. So that means only 5 guys carried this team to this win against Milwaukee in a lot of ways. And it was the champion 4, Fred, Pascal, OG, and Chris Boucher, along with Precious. That those 5 guys were really the main drivers of beating Milwaukee on January 15th of this year. That, in particular, Pascal was a badass. He got a triple-double, but they took it away from him. Like, even rewatching the highlights last night of this game, just to refresh my memory of some of the plays that happened, at the end of the game, the Milwaukee Bucks announcers are saying Pascal Siakam has gotten his second triple-double of the year. So I'm like, oh, man, they're even saying that. Well, we know what happened. Like a week later, the NBA reviewed the stats, and they took away the triple-double from Pascal. I thought that was so shady, and it sucked. But they do it to players sometimes. They go back and review it. And it was because of team rebounds that he caught alongside with Chris Boucher and other guys. They were grabbing the same rebounds. So they took 2 rebounds away from Pascal's total. So he didn't technically get his second triple-double that night. He did go on and get his second triple-double before the end of the season, rightfully so. And they didn't take that one away from him. So that was a little bit of controversy from this game also. The fact that Pascal got a triple-double, they said it on TV, they made a big deal out of it, and then a week later they yanked it back from him. That was really messed up. So like I'm saying, it was the championship 4 guys, Fred, OG, Pascal, because OG and Pascal being in the same game this season had been rare up until this point. We saw Pascal out at the beginning of the season, and OG was out a whole bunch of different times throughout the year at different times. So having Pascal and OG both out there together, working well together, they got 54 points between the two of them. That's over half our points just from those two guys, Siakam and Anunoby. And then Fred got 17, Precious 14, and Chris Boucher 15. And Precious had a double-double, 10 rebounds, 14 points. So that was really a five-man team that carried the water for the Raptors in that game. That if we'd had any kind of bench at that point, they could have probably helped. Like Otto Porter Jr., Thad Young, people like we've got coming in this year and stuff like that. Because Yuta and Svi did not help at all in this game. And Justin helped with a lot of rebounds. He got a lot of minutes, but he did only score 3 points on one three-pointer. He didn't shoot that well. Good morning, Tom Duke. Lex, Giannis is the only power forward they can play at the same level as P. Skills. Portis was unreal in this game. Yeah, I remember Portis was a real punk. But, when I re-watched it last night, it looked like he was kind of like it was just an intensity thing. I think he was kind of trying to intimidate Pascal, but he was also kind of like, you know what? You got a dog in your fight, Pascal. I don't want to get in your face and kind of like, yeah, you're hyped. Yeah. So there's a little bit of both in it. Like, I feel like he wasn't because the ref jumped on him real quick and was like going to give Bobby Portis a tech or give him something. He's like, no, we're not trying to, there's no problem here. He's like, he backed down real quick and stuff like that. But yeah, it's very interesting. Good to see you, Tom. Tom was the MVP hero yesterday on Scotty's Twitch. Tom, listen, man. Tom Duke, you are a real one. I have so much appreciation for you, Tom. Listen, I got to tell this story about Tom Duke and the Scotty Twitch stream yesterday because Tom, you're a badass, man. I'm so glad to call you my friend, man. Oh my gosh. Good morning to Monique. Always good to see Superfan Monique with us and stuff like that. Good morning to Raymond Jacob. I have to admit, I was on the Pascal hate wagon when he was injured and coming off a horrible playoff run. I wasn't expecting him to kill it when he got back. He loves P skills. I love that Raymond Jacob came full circle on Pascal because this is true. A lot of people were really upset with him about what happened with the bubble. Him not being fully 100% or ready when we went in the bubble really hurt our chances of beating Boston in that 7-game series. And when we didn't beat them, we wanted to point fingers. And he was an easy person to point fingers at. And it was, it was a little bit warranted. Yeah, I agree that he should have been taking the blame and stuff like that. But in some ways, I feel like the organization should have stayed more in touch with him in the downtime during the pandemic and keeping tabs on how he's doing and stuff. There were some tough lessons learned when the coronavirus hit the world and the pandemic started and everybody had to do things. I think the Raptors learned some things about how to help their players when they're not around because Pascal really languished during the pandemic, being just at home, not working out, just watching TV. And we saw what happened. Well, he learned from that also. And this may be why he's so maniacal about training in the offseason now. He doesn't want to feel the things that he felt from people like Raymond Jacob at that time. He doesn't want to feel like he could have done more and that he has a regret that he didn't do enough in the time when he had time to do it. And that's the thing. And that I think this really did this is actually probably a good thing in the long run, that it was really bad for us in the summer of the bubble and playing in Orlando and trying to win in the playoffs in the bubble. We get past the first round. We're playing Boston in that series. And he learned something. And it's like, this may make him be this crazy worker every summer, like he's showing this summer once again, forever now, because he never, ever wants to feel the shame of the bubble and what happened there and stuff like that. I commend Pascal for that. And that just shows the kind of guy he is and stuff like that. Monique saying, and Pascal wanted those points. He wanted that triple-double. He wanted those rebounds. That was messed up. And, listen, they've done this to other people too. They've done this to Russell Westbrook. They've done this to various other NBA players have had triple-doubles taken away from them later down the road. But it looked real weird, real bad. Shane Waters, bam, bam, bam. Yeah, Shane was there also. West Coast Raptorsfreak in effect yesterday on Scotty's Twitch. So much fun to hang out with my guys, Shane and Tom, on Scotty's Twitch yesterday. The saga of Hamza will be told today. Do not worry. We will get to the Scotty's Twitch part in the second half of this stream for sure. Go Raptors. I love it. Evelyn saying good morning, Monday. Good Monday morning. Yeah, very rainy morning here in the 416 in Toronto. Lots of rain on the ground coming down right now. Very nice. Tom Duke saying Scotty is absolutely entertaining and so giving. Scotty's, yeah, we learn more and more about his personality from these Twitch streams. And he was on for 4 hours yesterday, guys. And I'm pretty sure Tom and I were on there for the majority of that time. I believe Tom was there at the end, and I seen him very early on in there too. And Shane Waters was there. Click 2 a.m. was in there for a little bit. Different various people, regulars on Scotty's Twitch were all in there with us. Monique saying 1,000 viewers on Scotty's first video. It's 100,000 views. Yeah, he's so happy. He is really happy, and he's very hype about his YouTube channel. Like, he wants to make it look really professional. He was reaching out to an artist on the Twitch stream last night or yesterday, asking them to help him with making some graphics to put on his YouTube channel to make it all look real professional and nice. Yeah, he's got one video up. It's got 100,000 views now. And he called Max during the Twitch to ask him, when is the second episode going to come out? Because my fans and my YouTube followers are waiting with bated breath to see when number 2 episode of Scotty Barnes' YouTube channel is going to come out. And Max is just hedging. He's just like, well, you got to do, I want to get some of these clips from the Rico Hines week with Steph Curry on there. And I was like, he's giving him all these excuses. And Scotty's like, not having it. He's like, come on, man, get this out here, man. Come on, family. And like, and you know, he's saying something, Max is saying something about, well, I want to integrate the clips from the other week of Rico Hines with the first week. And I'm like, and Sky's like, just put the first one out. He's getting a little impatient with Max, and so are the fans and stuff like that. He did say something about like Max his affinity for Steph Curry. It wasn't very nice and stuff like that. But yeah, you know, Max is this dude who's just a student in California. He films stuff. He's a cinematographer. He's a friend of Scotty's. He's going to school out in California. He's a young guy, but he can't be around Scotty all the time. This is the job Scotty wants. Scotty wants to hire somebody like Fly Guy Films for Fred VanVleet. He wants Max to be with him all the time and be able to pay him enough so that it's worth his time, so he can document his life, just like the people that follow Fred around, the people that follow Pascal around. And Max would be that dude. But Scotty can't afford to pay that right now. In fact, there's a video, Scotty found it on YouTube. Well, some creator like me came on and made a video about how Scotty Barnes is so broke. He needs the Max right now because he's asking for money through Twitch subscriptions and stuff like that. There's a little bit of truth to all this. I mean, Scotty is saying that he's broke. It could very well be this. I was thinking about this. You know, he gets the rookie money and the rookie contract. Well, he takes care of maybe all the debt that is in his family already. Like, it may be that his mother and some other family members need some financial help right away. It may be that he wanted to get that house for his mom right away. And it may be that he did spend all of his rookie money right away because of all the things that just desperately needed to happen as soon as he came into money. So he may very well be quite broke right now in general, just as far as like flow of money for some things, because he's tied up a lot of his money already. So I tend to believe him. So that is true. Like, if you're on his Twitch and you subscribe to him, he will shout you out. And we learned this yesterday from a very annoying person in the Twitch stream yesterday named Hamza. There was this youngster, I think he was in Dubai. I don't know exactly where it was. He was spamming a lot of stuff in there. And the first thing he was spamming was, "It's my birthday, Scotty. Please say happy birthday to me." And he was relentless. Every 30 seconds, he spammed that same message in the chat, and Scotty was ignoring him. Sometimes he will read the birthday wishes without doing the subscription. Early on, he would do that in the Twitch. In fact, I got him to say happy birthday to my girlfriend on her birthday a couple months ago. And he did it without any kind of like subscription or anything. He did it real sweet and everything. I love the clip. She loved it too. It was what made her birthday in some ways. So it's like he used to do that, but now he's very much like, he doesn't want to be like a trained, he's not trained person that you do whatever you say he's going to do. So he really wants to, show that he's autonomous and he does what he wants to do. In fact, he said that on the Twitch stream a couple of times last night. Guys, don't think that I'm just like some sort of, thing you can order around and tell me what to do on here. Because there are some of the youngsters come in the Twitch stream and it's like, go play this video game. Go do this. Do this. Hey, Scotty, will you say this? Will you do this? And he's sick of getting ordered around. So it's funny. Hamza kept saying, please say happy birthday to me. Please say happy birthday. And people were starting to feel sorry for him and stuff like that. And Scotty's like, no, I don't just say happy birthday to people just because they want to and stuff like that. I'm not going to do it. And I was kind of like, he's kind of being a dick, but I'm also kind of like, it's his life and it's his choice. Bill Russell didn't want us to sign autographs or take pictures, then, that's his right. And Scotty can draw the line wherever he wants to draw it as a private individual in his life. And I want to respect that. And other people should too. So he said, I'm not going to answer you, Hamza. And so I got the idea. I was saying, well, Hamza, if you subscribe to his channel, he will shout you out. So you just need to pay some money. So Hamza's like, well, I don't have any money and all this stuff. And he won't shut up. So what happens? We have a hero. We have a hero step up and step to the front. And that man's name is Tom Duke. Tom Duke stepped up and gifted Hamza a subscription to Scotty's Twitch. And when he did that, Scotty said, happy birthday to Hamza. So Tom Duke, you are the man. You are the man. I was like, holy crap, Tom Duke coming through. Look at this dude. It was like he was the MVP yesterday, no lie. And Scotty did it. He said, happy birthday, Hamza. Thank you, Tom Duke. And he did. They did a celebration for Tom, which I love. Tom, we need to clip that clip out of Scotty talking about Tom Duke on there because that's a very nice little clip. Maybe I'll go find it for you today. I'll get Paul B to clip it out, and we'll put it in our collection of clips of Raptor Freak shout-outs from Scotty Barnes. So he did all this for Hamza. Hamza got his birthday shout-out because Tom Duke's benevolence. And then Tom Duke was just the hero. Everybody's Wing Tom Duke in the stream. All the regulars, Scotty's friends, Lloyd and Chunky Monkey, they were all celebrating Tom Duke for being such a nice guy and helping this Hamza guy out. Well, like I told Tom at some point in the stream, at some point I said the road to hell is paved with good intentions, because after this, Hamza was emboldened with his spamming and just being a general jackass. He started spamming to Scotty, hey, Scotty, come to Dubai and play me one-on-one. I will kick your ass. He spammed this over and over again. Like, this is a man who's in Dubai, but he can't afford a fucking subscription to Scotty's Twitch. And meanwhile, good old Tom Duke out in BC is buying him this. And then this man turns around and acts like this. He was so annoying. He was so annoying. And then I was thinking, you know what? Scotty was right to ignore this idiot from the start. And Tom, you were such a nice guy. You did that for that dude, but we really shouldn't have done that. Well, let's just say that Hamza was such a pain in the ass by the end of the stream that they had to ban him and kick him out. It really was a tale of an ascent and then a fall and then get the fuck out of here kind of thing. We felt sorry for the kid because it's just his birthday. He wanted Scotty Barnes to say happy birthday to him, and he wouldn't do it. Then Tom was nice, and he paid for a subscription, got the happy birthday for him, and then Hamza showed his ass and became a really annoying little asshole, and he got banned. So it was really, really weird. At one point, it was funny when Scotty rejected Hamza and said, no, I'm not going to say happy birthday to you. Everybody in the chat was saying this is the origin story of a villain, where Hamza all of a sudden, he's like, Scotty rejected me. And then he goes to the court and he becomes a really good player. And then he comes to the NBA and plays him. You rejected me on my Twitch stream, on the Twitch stream. So now I'm here to beat you in basketball in real life. Very far-fetched and not likely at all, but hilarious in itself. But the tale of Hamza need to be told today on the Raptor Freak stream. Don't be like that when you go in there with Scotty. Seriously, go with the flow. If you are going against the flow of the stream and the chat, then know you're in trouble, because we will, much like what Raptors Twitter did yesterday to Ben Carlos, we will suss you out and get you out the door. Because listen, we got all kinds of fans from other teams coming in, talking their trash, saying, come to Boston, Scotty. Come to Houston, Scotty. Come to Orlando, Scotty. Play for Miami, Scotty. I was joking yesterday. We might as well get a bingo card and put every single NBA team on there other than the Raptors. And I'll just mark off when each fan comes into Scotty's Twitch stream and solicits him to come play for their team. And I'll be looking at my card. Oh, bingo. Thank you, Miami fan, for coming in and putting your little boogaloo in there about him coming to play for y'all. I think that would be a fun game, because I would probably get that card filled. But the funny thing is, we see these guys for a couple seconds, but then the mods kick them out. That's the thing. This is a very pro Raptors stream. And if you're a Raptors fan, you can say whatever you want. But if you come in there with your garbage from other fan nations, look out. The mods will send you out of there and stuff like that. But yeah, it was just a general fun time. There was so much that happened yesterday on the stream. 4 hours of goodness. Let me just talk about, he was playing Armani Brooks on multiverses yesterday. Armani was online also at the same time, and they called each other on the phone. We saw Scotty Barnes talking to Armani Brooks on the telephone saying, yeah, let's play some games. Well, they got on and they started playing, but Scotty didn't turn it on to the TV yet, so we couldn't watch him play. And Armani massacred him. He absolutely destroyed him in multiverses, and we didn't get to see it at first. They had a couple battles. Scotty won the second one, but Armani really did beat him in multiverses overall. And at the end of it, Scotty was saying, oh man, now I have to say I'm the second best multiverses player on PS5. Armani kicked his butt, and it was hilarious. And there were some funny jokes in the Twitch stream too, because Armani won, and he was kind of not being a good sport about it towards Scotty or something, or he said something. And then also, once I think he did something to his dog while he was playing or something like that. And somebody in the stream was saying, this is why Armani got waived, is because he's not a good teammate or something. Just jokes, pure jokes on that. But then what else happened? Oh, yeah, this was really fun. Scotty watched his Pro-Am highlights from Toronto from Saturday night. The stuff with him and Malachi, we got to watch it with him for the first time. And it's hilarious. We're watching him, and he's telling us about walking out and all the cameras that were on him. And he's like, oh, my gosh, why are all these cameras in front of me? He's like, I don't even know what this is about. And I was right. He was annoyed with it. You could tell by his face a little bit. And he's like, he didn't understand why they were following him out on the court. This isn't the NBA. There's no refs or security to keep people off the court. So these people with cameras just following him out there. And he's basically telling us, I just wanted to start warming up and shooting around and stuff like that. And these people are just taking pictures of me. He's like, which side of the court do I start shooting around on, is what he was saying and stuff like that. It's hilarious. But yeah, he had a lot of fun in that game. He said that he hurt his hand early in that game. And that's why he stopped shooting for a little bit. And he was just trying to set up Malachi. And that's part of the reason why he shot those air balls. The air balls that some fans of other nations were putting on blast on Twitter and other places on Saturday night, because he shot a really bad air ball. Well, apparently he had hurt his hand. And that was part of the reason why he was missing the shot so bad. So he decided to concentrate more on close to the basket and setting up Malachi after that point. But he was having fun. I don't know if you guys noticed, but when he was shooting free throws, he shot them left-handed, and he also shot a couple free throws with his eyes closed. So he was just goofing around. Like they're saying, oh, Luka may come back with some new tricks. Mark Cuban's saying Luka Doncic is going to have some new moves, like maybe a little spin hook or something like that. Well, maybe Scotty Barnes is going to have some new moves, but they're at the free throw line, taking eyes shut free throws and left-handed free throws and stuff like that. Because people are asking him, is like, Scotty, you going to have any new dunks? You going to have any new moves that you do this year and stuff like that? Well, maybe he'll be shooting left-handed free throws, and that's his new move and stuff like that. Crazy. But such a good listen. Tom, Shane, everybody who is there, if I forget anything about the Twitch that you guys think should be brought up, please bring it up in the comments and we'll talk about it, because there was just so much. I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around every single thing that was said and happened yesterday, because there was a lot. There really was a lot. Tom Duke is saying, haha, regrets in life. Yeah, that was a pretty regretful thing that Tom did. It's hilarious. All right, let me see what else you guys are saying here. Tom Duke saying Nick Nurse on Pascal Siakam's summer looks absolutely spectacular. You sit there and you watch him work out. His athleticism is electric. His focus, his shot, his smooth and soft. He looks great. He really does look great. Like all the Rico Hines clips make him look really, really good. Like, listen, this guy, when he's at Rico Hines, he's in a category with James Harden and the vets and the guys that have gotten to the promised land, the guys who have a ring, the guys who have accolades, the guys who have a big salary in the NBA. And that's Pascal has that kind of weight and kind of that respect around the league. I think more and more. Then maybe the NBA media machine in the US may slight him and not pay attention to him. But all the players in the league that play against him and have to deal with him, trying to guard him and stuff like that, they respect him. And they know that he's not someone to like look down on, that this is somebody you really, really have to respect, because he is a threat to score on your team in all kinds of different ways and stuff like that. Tom Duke's saying so much to be stoked about. So much to be stoked about. So much fun, so much crazy good stuff coming up this season. Scotty's a really interesting dude. Like I find out more and more about his personality from watching these Twitch streams. That he is just an interesting dude. And it's all kinds of funny ways. Monique's saying, congratulations on your YouTube followers going up. Yeah, I had a little bump yesterday, which is great. I'm getting a little bump in the last 24 hours. Hopefully it can continue and keep going. I appreciate all the new follows. And please, if you like the channel and you're not subscribed yet, go ahead and hit subscribe. It helps me with my numbers. When I get to 1,000, then I can do all kinds of new tricks with this station. And I'm really looking forward to that. I have a loose goal to try and have 1,000 in a year from now. So if we can have 1,000 subscriptions on the Raptorsfreak channel by next August, I'll be very, very happy. That's where I'm trying to do this season, is to get to my goal. Yeah, Tom Duke says he regrets. Yeah, I mean, listen, you were doing such a nice thing for Hamza. And, he really messed it up. He should have been just gracious and been like, oh, I got a birthday wish from Scotty. No, he had to make it worse. So hopefully they just banned him forever. It took them a long time for them to ban him. I think part of it was because Scotty put Lloyd in timeout. Scotty's friend Lloyd is one of his old friends, day one friends, as they put it. And he was being a jerk, kind of spamming some funny stuff, trying to bug Scotty. And Scotty got mad at him and he timed them out. And when you time out somebody on Twitch, they actually lose their moderator status. So when Lloyd came back, he couldn't get rid of Hamza like he wanted to because Scotty had stripped him of his mod duties. And then he didn't know how to give him back. So this is the thing. I feel okay because Scotty would have given me a mod a month ago if he had knew how to do it. Because he couldn't give Lloyd his mod back. I know that's true at this point. Anyway, let's see. Monique's saying, yes, Tom. Remember Nurse's comments on Pascal? So good. Yeah, Raymond Jacobs saying, brother Tom, bam. Yeah, he really was the hero yesterday. And yeah, it was crazy. Raymond saying that Ponza guy sounds like a kid. He was probably a little kid. I got to remember, listen, Tom and I are not the average Twitch viewers. We are not regular Twitch people. We only came to Twitch because of Scotty. That we're not on there because we want to watch other people play video games. We're not on there. There's a little bit of a generation difference. And it came up again yesterday. I was like, yeah, I'm 46. I'll be 47 this week. And everybody's like asking what? Because we were talking about, Lloyd was talking about when he was going to get married. And he's like, I don't think I'll get married till I'm 35. And then I was saying I got married at 30. And then everybody's like, how old are you, Raptorsfreak? And I'm like, I'm 46 once again. And a lot of Scotty knows that. Other people know that in the stream, the regulars. But yeah, they were talking about that again. And I'm like, yeah, maybe I'm a little old. But then also at the same time, and I'm serious about this. I was saying this in the Twitch stream yesterday, that when 2K23 comes out, I think I might make a purchase and go get it and start getting in there and start playing with them because I'm really good at basketball video games. I use all of my technical knowledge and fundamental knowledge about basketball and plays and where positioning and spacing and doing the right thing at the right moment, that I'm a pretty good basketball video game player. So I might throw my glove into the gauntlet and jump into this circle with these guys on the next generation in the 2K23. Because I also am very intrigued by the new modes. They have eras. They have the Jordan era. They have like the Kobe era. And then they have the present day. They have different eras. And I want to see how that goes because some of those eras are my favorite. I love to play in that Jordan era and see what that game is all about like that. So this could be good. Maybe I could be involved in playing against Scotty for real on the Twitch. So that might be a lot of fun. So, all right, let's see. Tom Duke saying, I've watched it a couple times. Funny stuff. Cheers, Raymond. This Hamza goof didn't deserve any presents. Probably wasn't his birthday. Yeah, I wonder about that too. Maybe it wasn't his birthday. Maybe you're right, Tom Duke, that maybe it wasn't even his birthday. He's just lying the whole time. Tom Duke saying Chat United was quite entertaining. He got his attention he deserved. Yeah, we got him good. Like all the other regulars. I mean, there's different other little trolls that are in there, but they're regular trolls. There are trolls. We're okay with them. Durrani and Solventless. These guys are guys that play on 2K, and they've actually played against Scotty. I've seen them play in games against Scotty. Durrani himself has actually beaten Scotty on the 2K and stuff like that. So yeah, random gamer saying, "Come to Philly, Scotty." Wait, who said that? There was somebody who said, "Come to Philly" on this Twitch stream last night. We usually get at least one person from one city. Not all the teams, but there'll be at least 4 or 5 each stream. Somebody will just pop in and say, "Come to the Lakers. When are you going to be on the Lakers? Oh, when are you going to be on the Celtics?" It's like every single team nation comes here and does that. We had Houston Nation in there trying to get them too last night. Let's see. Shane saying, "Scotty watching the highlights of Braun getting stroked by fans was pretty funny too." Oh, yeah. Thank you, Shane. Yes, this is exactly what I wanted you guys to do. Remind me of this stuff. He watches the Pro-Am from Toronto highlights of him and Malachi first, watching all the cool stuff, talking about how fun it was and things like that. And then he watched the Pro-Am from Seattle. He watched the LeBron and Jason Tatum and stuff like that. And, he was really impressed with how many people were at the Seattle one, just how crowded that arena was. And then, like, also just watching LeBron, you can tell, like, he's like warming up, and LeBron does a very basic jump up, two-handed dunk and just puts it through. And the whole arena goes crazy. Like he did some sort of crazy like dunk where he did 360 reverse windmill or something like that. But he just did a very simple jump up and dunk it down, and they went crazy. And Scotty is making fun of that. He's like, why are they going crazy about such a basic dunk? It's like, that's so easy and stuff like that. He's like, oh my gosh, they really, really like LeBron and they're really into him and stuff like that. And then there was another play where LeBron did a dunk, and because there's so many people in that arena, they're right underneath the basket, and there's photographers right underneath the basket, and there's 2 young ladies underneath the basket, and LeBron dunks, and he comes right up on them, like, because he's stopping his momentum, and the girls are like scared, and they're like, ah, and then the one girl like looks down at his crotch, and Scotty's like, what's she looking at? What's she looking at? Scotty was like, what is she looking at? Y'all tell me, family, what is she looking at? Scotty's hilarious. And then there were some really funny comments in the Twitch with the answers. Like people were saying like Ladong or something. I was like, what the? This is messed up. This is not for kids. I marked this just so y'all know. This is not a stream for children. I mean, if you're a kid and you're watching this, you're kind of getting away with something because you probably shouldn't be watching me. All right, let's see. All right, let's keep going. Tom Duke saying, I wonder if Hamza is watching. If Hamza came here and started following me here, hey, whatever. It's another follower. We could deal with him here. We could deal with him. Tom, you've got a wrench. You're the one who could deal with him right away and stuff like that. Hilarious. All right, that's my opinions here. You're almost close. Like, that's my opinion. You're getting closer to trivia day. This is Monday. Trivia is tomorrow. So if you show up tomorrow, that's my opinion. You can actually talk some trash here. Let's see. Let's go the day before I take over Raptors trivia. No disrespect to anybody in the chat, but you are mine as well. Just not show up. You might as well not show up tomorrow because it's going to be one-sided beatdown, Mamba mentality. All right, let's see if this debut finally makes it. This is like a wrestling debut that takes forever, like Glacier in WCW years ago. Yeah, we hear you're coming, but we ain't seen you come anywhere near the trivia game yet. So until you do that, I won't believe anything you're saying. You might as well be another Hamza, is what we're saying here today. That's my opinion. Raymond Jacobs saying, when you get to 1,000, Lex, what's your next goal? 10,000? You're going to have to really step up production. I don't know if I want to go that much higher. I mean, I want it to be natural. Somebody came on my stream yesterday and left a comment, said, you should make shorter, more specific videos. Yeah, I could, and I've done that in the past, but that's not really what I want to do right now. I really like the format we're doing here right now. I think that it may not be for everybody. You may not have the time. You may not have the interest. You may not like the loose format of this, but I like the fact that this is a two-way street, that we can talk, that I can just ramble and say a lot of different things about all kinds of different subjects and not really be confined to a time constraint or a specific subject. So I think that this is just kind of what I like doing right now, and I think it's working to a degree. Now, not everybody will like it because it's so long and stuff like that. That's fine, but it's working for the very niche, select people that enjoy it and people that are here. And there may be more and more as they come and stuff like that. But I'm not trying to get to 1 million followers. I know that that's probably not likely, just because we are a very select, specific type of Raptor fan here. That even like the normal Raptor fan may not like this channel because we may be too positive and optimistic about the Raptors. And there are Raptor fans out there that are fans of the team, but they're not like all in like we are. So that may be part of the line there too. So I'd much rather do exactly what I'm doing right now for the people that really enjoy it like we've got now, than to change it too much. But I will do this. I may experiment with different lengths of how long I go. Like maybe I'll just do 10 minutes sometime just to see like that and stuff like that. But really, the goal is to get to 1,000, and then we'll go from there. We'll see what it is. It may not be growing more numbers on top of that. It may be more about how I do the show and refining it. And it may be exactly what you're saying, stepping up my production. Maybe getting a really nice mic and, doing some graphics, getting maybe a theme song or something like that. I don't know. Monique saying, I'll give Scotty credit on those dunks. Wow. Yeah, he's a lot of fun with that stuff. Like I really love the 360 like dunks he's doing lately and stuff. And Malachi, we need to. I mean, seriously, Malachi had some really badass plays in that Toronto game too, and stuff like that. So, and Scotty was hyping him up too. Like they had a lot of fun, Scotty and Malachi on Saturday night. You could really, really tell. Another thing about the LeBron Seattle Pro-Am game, you could tell Scotty was not really wanting to talk about the Chet injury. Listen, this is the thing. Chet and him are in the same group or something. They're in some sort of they have some sort of connection. I don't know if they have the same agency or if they're in some sort of brand together or something like that, but they are bonded by something, and he is his dude. Like I can't bad talk Chet too much, and I was going to warn you, Tom Duke, in that stream, don't talk down on Chet too much in that stream because you will piss off Scotty, because he is like his guy. They're best friends. And, he doesn't like people being negative about his friends and stuff like that. So even when they were showing that clip with LeBron and Chet, where Chet twisted his ankle and had to leave the game, Scotty watched it very delicately. In fact, Lloyd, who's a huge fan of the Thunder, was very like, let's not watch this part of the clip, Scotty, because you're not going to like what you see. And we were all kind of like dumping on Chet for being fragile and saying, oh, look, he's already getting hurt and it's a pro-am. This is the first time he's touched LeBron and he's already hurt, and Scotty didn't like that. I can tell because Chet is somebody who's important to him and he likes Chet a lot. So we got to kind of temper, can't really diss him. In general, it's better to not be negative about anybody in his stream is what I found. That like when I diss Richard Jefferson, when I diss Jalen Rose, I diss people like that in that stream, Scotty gets mad at me. Like he doesn't want us to be haters. He wants us to share the love and be positive and stuff like that. Because especially a lot of these NBA guys are his friends. Like, Cade Cunningham's his friend. Evan Mobley, he's cool with him. He doesn't have any problems with him just because everybody wants to make a big thing between him and all these guys. So that's one thing I wanted to mention real quick on that and stuff. All right, let's see what else has been said here. G saying, I'm late to the party. Did we talk about Scotty's eyes closed and left-handed free throws? Yeah, I just touched on it a little bit, G. I didn't even realize he shot the free throws with his eyes closed until the clip last night. Like when we watched it with Scotty yesterday on the Twitch, I was like, Scotty, you're shooting your free throws with the left hand. He's like, I know. He's like, I know. He's like, I think he really does want to develop his left hand more and more. That he hasn't really been a left-handed kind of player or used his left a lot in his college and last year. But I think he's going to develop it more and more and more. Like whether it's little baby hooks or something like that, he's shooting with his left hand sometimes too, which is very interesting. This is Larry Bird kind of stuff. Let's see what else people are saying. Tom saying, no, G, I missed that, but believe it. Big Four can do anything he chooses. Yeah, he hit the free throws he shot with his eyes closed. They showed the clip. He's got his eyes closed and he shoots it and it goes in. Everybody else is trying new dunks, new things like that. He's trying new free throws. Raymond Jacobs saying, watch out, everyone. Expert, that, my opinion, has been a fan all the way since 2019. So screwed. I know, especially since we're in the classic Jurassic period of Raptor Freak Trivia. Tomorrow, classic Jurassic Raptor Freak Trivia, 9:30 a.m. I'm not going to tell you who the player is, but it will be very much like the last couple of weeks. It'll be an important Raptor from our history, and the questions will be all about that one Raptor. So please join us, 9:30 a.m. Random Gamer came in there and got some points last week, Philly fan. Let's see. Random Gamer saying, facts, Raptor Freak, we aren't your average Raptors fans. That's true. You're not, for sure. I'm not even sure you're a Philadelphia Raptor fan. I know that you're a Sixers fan first and foremost, but I think because of your time here, that random gamer, if you have any kind of secondary allegiances, it may be to Toronto somewhere in that hierarchy of things. I would have to say at this point, random gamer has a top 5 NBA teams. The Raptors might be in their top 5. I'm gonna guess. CoolCat saying, I love what you're doing. I try to listen while at work. I like the interaction of your sessions. It's free flowing. I'd love to see Scotty enter the All-Star Dunk competition. CoolCat, thank you. This is a Twitch regular on Scotty's Twitch. I love seeing CoolCat in there also, just part of the family, the Twitch family. And it's really cool. Like, honestly, there are a lot of normal, regular names in there, like Flow Kid and CoolCat and, just regulars. We always see in there every single time talking to Scotty and stuff like that. I appreciate your words about the channel here and stuff like that. I really am trying to do something unique that nobody else is doing, and maybe not even like for any other fan nation, because I've watched other YouTube creators on live streams and it's hard to do. Like, people that have millions of followers trying to do live streams just for special occasions, like million followers or something like that. And they get on and there's no rhyme or reason or rhythm or pace to it. They get on there and they're reading, and then they talk. It's like, no, I keep going. I can do this all right at the same time and stuff like that. So if I've got the ability to do this and other people can't totally do this live streaming like this, hey, I'm gonna do it. Make my difference in what I can do with my talents and stuff like that. I really appreciate that, CoolCat. And it does mean a lot coming from somebody that I know came here from the Twitch stream. And that's so awesome. CoolCat saying Scott and Chet are the same agency. Yeah, that's what it is. That's what I thought. They have the same agent, and it's not in the best interest to like sully or make the other guys look bad if they're in the same agency and stuff like that. You could tell those guys were not happy about that happening and stuff like that. And of course, we were making all kinds of snide comments and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, Glass Joe, different things like that. Ooh, yeah, but listen, my opinions about Chet, I can keep them to myself when I'm on Twitch. I don't have to talk about them with Scotty because I know that it'll just make him be like, what the hell is this guy saying? Stuff like that. So, yeah, and CoolCat saying also all these young players know each other and are friends. They really have played together, whether it's in high school, on like junior Olympic teams, different things like that. They've all played together, like Scotty in particular, because he's such a blue chipper from coming up. He was put on every single all-star team or big team for the Olympics or anything like juniors over the years. So obviously he spent a lot of time with people like Kate Cunningham and Evan Mobley and what is Jalen Harris, not Jalen Harris, Jalen whatchamacallit in Houston and stuff like that. All those different guys, he spent a lot of time with them, and he is very true. They're all friends. Now I hate that in some ways, but I want him to have more of a closeness with people like Pascal and Fred and OG and people like that and Gary, because they're his teammates. There needs to be levels of friendship. Sure, you can be friends with other players on other teams, but then there's your teammate friends, and there's different circles and levels of like things and stuff like that. I think Scotty understands that. See, I didn't think that Vince always understood that back in the day. That was part of the problem with Vince. Let's see. All right. Monique saying, now if Malachi shows up that in a regular season, talk to me. 54. What? Yeah, listen. Some people on Twitter are convinced that Malachi is a really good pro-am player, but it does not translate to the NBA level. And this right now is still proven that is true. Until he proves it otherwise and shows that what he did on Saturday night can be applied to a real NBA game, this may be like, okay, sure, he can do this in these kind of settings where it doesn't really matter against this kind of competition, but can he do it against the best? And that is what we need to find out this year coming up and stuff like that. So I'm hoping, I know Malachi's not going to get a 50-point game on the Raptors, but if he could just turn the corner and be a really solid bench player who hits his shots and does some good stuff contributing to the rotation, I'll be happy, because that's what we need to see. Yeah. G saying crazy. This is Malachi's first year actually in Toronto, right? Well, last year was. I mean, there was Tampa. He was on the team last year. He barely played, though. You're right. Tom Duke saying, thanks for the advice about Chet. I'm usually a positive dude. I need a bigger filter for sure sometimes. Listen, I'm like you with this. Like I was really bagging on people in his Twitch stream at different times. He got mad at me. Like I said, he said, stop hating. He told me straight up. Scotty Barnes said, stop hating on people. Share the love. No reason to hate. Just share the love. So I really have been trying to turn a new leaf. And it may be that I'm not as negative this season coming up against opponents of the Raptors and stuff like that, partly because of Scotty's influence on me, telling me to stop hating and stuff like that. So, but yeah, don't worry about it, Tom. I saw you doing it and I was like, ooh, Scotty might not like Tom doing this, is what I was thinking at that time. Tom saying during the season is so much different than what you have been producing lately. All awesome, but with games going even more off the hook. You must be at a full year soon coming up. I'll be at a full year in September, so it'll be in about a month. I think it'll be like September 16th is when I first started doing these. So it'll be a full year then. And you're right, Tom. Listen, the content at this time is harder in some ways because I have to manufacture it. I have to go and do a lot of work and really dig up stuff and think about things a lot more and plan it. When we're in the middle of the season, it's real easy. Just do my regular previews and reactions and do my regular process for that kind of stuff, whether it's getting the ref report together, figuring out the real mascot matchup, all the different little segments we did last season. And then in the reaction, that's really fun and easier because we're really just talking about what we remember from the game the night before. And you guys really help me with the memory cues a lot of times. Like you guys will remember stuff that I may forget to talk about, and we fill in all the blanks that way and stuff like that. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun when the games start again because it's true. The things get upticked a little bit more on this station when we're really talking about real stuff here. Let's see. Random Gamer saying, I have a respect for the franchise, always have. Still can't stand Fred VanVleet. Dude is so annoying when we play. Laugh out loud. There we go. There's a respect that has been built between Random Gamer and the Raptors and me and the Philadelphia 76ers probably in the last 4 months. And a lot of it is because of this discourse on here with Random Gamer and stuff like that. Listen, Philly's on the right track. They don't look as dysfunctional as they have for decades at this point. They do have a lot to feel good about. I've seen an interview with James Harden the last couple of days. He's saying that we're trying to win a championship in Philadelphia. He said it in an interview himself. So he's all about it. Yeah. G's saying Random Harden was helping kids in Houston. He's a very likable person now. Yeah, it's like a light switch or something like that. I don't know. Maybe he had an epiphany. Maybe he had one of these moments like Chris Boucher did in Cleveland last year on Boxing Day, where it's like, listen, wow, you know what? I realized something's happening here. And maybe, like I said, that he saw Kyrie from the outside. And he's like, man, I don't ever want to be like that dude in any kind of way. So he's really trying not to be like Kyrie in some ways. I don't know. Random Gamer saying, agreed. I hated the way he played last year in the postseason, but I'm starting to like him now on and off the court. Listen, I thought he played really good for you guys in the postseason. He was better than I thought he was going to be. In fact, the reason why is because he was playing point guard. And he was really setting your guys up. Like, he's a really good passer. That's the one thing about James Harden he doesn't get enough credit for. We talk about the shooting. We talk about the handles, the way he can not get guys off of him and hit the three and stuff like that. But we don't talk enough about the way he can pass and pinpoint pass, like through legs and people to guys and give the guys really, like I've talked about a couple times this summer. It's so important as a playmaker in the NBA to set up the person you're trying to get the score for with a very nice silver platter of easiness, that the ball just comes to them in the right rotation of the spin to hit their hand in the right way. And it's just so easy to just lay it in or shoot the ball in rhythm into the shot. And James Harden's very aware of this kind of passing, that he's really good at getting that rhythm or spin pass that will most help the person he's passing it to be effective in making the shot for sure. And that's something I really respect. I like that the most about his game. I forget about his scoring. I like watching him pass. That's the thing I really like. Monique saying, people say the editing part is the worst. Yeah, talking about Max and his editing of Scotty Barnes' episodes right now. Yeah, there's a lot of footage to go through. And you if you're a perfectionist, you can really, really get into the details of the timing and the pace of the whole piece. And if it doesn't feel exactly right, you may move something around and then it shifts something so it doesn't exactly fit with some other part all of a sudden. And then you have to go and redo a whole other part and all this kind of stuff. The thing about it, though, what Max was telling Scotty on the phone, though, yesterday is that he has a part of it already done. He has the first week of Rico Hines done, but he wants to add the third week of Rico Hines, the week where Scotty went back and he worked with Kyrie and Steph Curry and stuff like that. And I think he should do 2 different episodes of Rico Hines. You split it up, Max. Give us that little bit from 2 or 3 weeks ago, the first week of August, and then give us the Fresno episode, give us the Powder League episode, and then come back around and give us Rico Hines part 2 and stuff like that. Somebody was saying, why can he use Rico Hines footage? He's like, because Rico Hines. He's like, Rico Hines, like, there was a whole thing about who owns the footage of Rico Hines. Well, Rico Hines has his stuff all over it, but Max is there and he's filming with his own camera and he's got the permission because a lot of people were filming at those Rico Hines runs and they weren't all Rico Hines people and stuff like that. So we're seeing it in different places and stuff like that. Let's see. CoolCat saying, yeah, we need to get Malachi's a performance against elite defenders. Yeah, he can do this at Seattle. He can do this at Drew League. He can do this in Toronto on Saturday night. But can he do this against a bigger, faster, stronger guard that's just as fast as him, but is taller than him and stuff like that? That's the thing. The defense in the NBA is getting so tough to score on in some ways and stuff like that. And CoolCat's also saying Scotty wants folks to enjoy the competition without personal or negative slanders. Yes, he is really much like that. And maybe that he sees it from the other direction, that, he's seeing negative slander from other fan nations towards him. And it puts him in the other shoes of the other players that we put it towards. So he sees both sides. And we need to be respectful and understand that. That once again, like Ron Harper Jr. posted a post this summer talking about how players are humans. They have feelings. They have lives. They have ups and downs. They get in relationships just like we do. And they go through tough times and different things. And they have emotions. They get depressed. They just like DeMar DeRozan's been very outspoken about the last couple of years. And that we need to realize the human side of NBA players also. That these dudes are humans. They have feelings. They go through stuff. And that we only see the tip of the iceberg as far as their lives, the good stuff. We don't understand everything else they have to deal with behind the scenes that's private and none of our business. And that they have to go through, like things like not believing in yourself all of a sudden, losing confidence or imposter syndrome, anything like that. If you're at that level of play and it's so cutthroat and you're not totally sure that you belong there, it can be very damaging to your psyche and things like that. So it's that kind of stuff. That's what I'm thinking about with that. Boom, boom, boom. All right, let's see. Monique saying news and notes. Chris Boucher's officially in Montreal. Yeah, Chris is doing it camp over there. We've seen some footage of him doing camp stuff. A lot of different people are at different places. We've seen Rico Hines in Rwanda. Let's see. Where have I seen? Well, Freddie's still just kind of putting clips out, stuff like that. It's been kind of quiet on social media, actually. The last couple of days with the different guys. Let's see. Rank Scrub saying hit the like button. I like that. Please hit the like button and the subscribe button also if you could. Isaac Campbell's here. Good to see you, Isaac. Harden could lead the league in assists this year. That is possible. I think that it'll be kind of divided up between him and Maxey. I don't think that there's like a designated point guard role in that team. I think that they can switch. And they can both kind of run the point depending on who brings the ball up the floor or something like that. Maxey is really a point guard also. He can really go into shooting guard mode, obviously. But he's really good at passing too. So I really look at them both as kind of hybrids. Like they're both kind of point guard, shooting guards, both of them. But because of their differences and stuff like that, they work real well. I mean, James can play shooting guard defensively and stuff like that. So it works. Raymond Jacobs saying, next season, I would love to have live stream sessions during live games and we can all join in on our cams reacting live. Yeah. Alex, get rid of Rogers. Maybe that's why there's lag. I'm not on Rogers. I'm on whatchamacallit. But they do piggyback on Rogers. I forget what the name of the company I'm on is. But they're good. I like them. They're really been good for the most part. I don't have really bad lag at this point. I upgraded the service and it's really fast. If you go and look at my old streams from the very beginning, there was lag. There was lag then, but I don't think it's that bad at this point. I don't know. This would take a lot to figure out the logistics of, as far as like I can't do a live stream during the game myself, let alone have everybody involved and sitting in here with us. I don't know. I'm going to have to figure this stuff out. Doing live stream for me is not a good idea during the regular season because I really like watching the game. And I don't, like I've said before, running the live stream and watching the game is really hard to do at the same time. Like if you watch Luca Rosano do it, there's a lot of dead time where he's just sitting there watching and nobody's saying anything. It can be very boring and stuff like that. But I don't know, Raymond. There may be some sort of idea in what you're saying that may be able to work out over time, like with the way technology evolves, and maybe it'll get easier. And then maybe we can do exactly what you're saying. I'm not against the idea. I just don't think it's realistic right now with what we got. Tom Duke saying Lex should be on the big show with Jack and Matty D, the X-rated color commentary fellow. Well, listen, if Jack Armstrong's Ron Jeremy comment can help us get me involved, I don't know. I mean, listen, okay, let's talk about this real quick. Twitter has canceled Carlos. Ben Carlos. I watched Ben Carlos's clips a couple times last year just because we take in all Raptors content and see what's going on. Ben Carlos, he came on and I saw him. He had a Vince Carter jersey on the wall behind him, a purple Vince Carter, and he had the JYD also. I was like, man, this guy has almost the same jerseys as me. It's like his setup looked a little bit like one of my setups already in this room. And I listened to him and I'm like, all right, I like this guy. He seems like he's a nice, fun, and enthusiastic guy, but there was something a little off about him. There was something a little cocky and a little weird about him. And the more I watched him, the couple times I did, he turned me off. And I was like, there's something really bad with him. Well, we found out that this dude is like defending Andrew Tate on his Twitter, saying like free Andrew Tate. I don't know if you guys know who Andrew Tate is. He's this internet personality who's been banned from Instagram and Facebook for life because of misogyny, because he's a really bad influence on young men and teaching them how to view women in a very ugly way, like as property, as kind of like playthings, something to mess around with and not really take serious. He's one of these like pickup artists, kind of gross guys. But the thing is, this is a phenomenon. There's a lot of young men who looked up to him because they liked his advice, and maybe they're like, oh, this is the way I should live so I can get more girls and stuff like that. But it's been very damaging to these young people's psyche. And now he's being canceled. There's a lot of young men that are trying to make an uproar about why are they canceling him? It's like, well, because he's a fucking piece of shit and he's not somebody that y'all need to follow. In fact, we brought him up in the Twitch yesterday with Scotty for a second, and Scotty was about to say something about him, and I don't know what he was going to say. I'm not going to say either way. And Guerrilla Marketing, who's a regular in Scotty's Twitch, was in there saying, Scotty, no comment. Don't say anything about this. And he is exactly right. Because listen, nobody needs to be defending Andrew Tate right now. Let the man burn and go away because he is wrong. He is a bad person to follow. He is the epitome of a smaller example of the cult of 45 of Trump, that he has indoctrinated young people into his sphere of influence and experience and what he sees the world through into their eyes because they wanted somebody to help them figure out how to get girls. So this dude is really, really bad. And Scotty, if you were watching him or anything that had to do with him, cut those ties quick and understand this is a lesson for somebody you need to look out for and not follow. This is not a good dude. And now Ben Carlos is taking a stand and saying, look, Andrew Tate, why free him? Get him out of jail on Facebook. He's like, no. Oh, man, you fucked up. Because he stepped in it, because Raptors Twitter was on him like that. He stepped in some doo-doo, and they basically eviscerated him online in a public space on Twitter. They had a big group of main Raptors Twitter people. These people are badasses, first of all. I have a lot of respect and love for Raptors Twitter and different people like S and C and all these different people that are on Twitter talking about the Raptors every day. And they basically canceled this dude. And they're putting it on Yahoo Sports to fire him. He was the replacement for Will Liu, Ben Carlos. Will Liu went to Sportsnet and Fan 590, started doing the show, and Ben Carlos jumped into his spot on Yahoo. And, well, they're going to need somebody new to do the Raptors on Yahoo because this man's been canceled by Raptors Nation. And that's because he took a stand for Andrew Tate. And I'm all about this. This is right. Because we don't need, like, listen, I stand for certain things, and you may not agree with all of them, and that's fine. But listen, I'm going to say what I'm going to say. And if you don't like what I'm saying, that's fine. You don't want to watch? That's fine. But when you're out there kind of pushing stuff that's bad, like Trump stuff or Andrew Tate stuff, that's part of the problem. And that's what I'm saying. I'm fighting against this. You know, you can say I'm woke and whatever. I am woke. And I'm on the trend with everybody else who's progressive and moving forward and changing the world for a better place and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's very interesting stuff with the canceling of Ben Carlos. and stuff like that. He seemed like a nice guy, but he's an idiot too, because he kind of has some weird opinions and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I should be on Yahoo. That would be interesting. I mean, they're talking about who's going to replace this guy on Yahoo Sports. I don't know. I may not be the right fit. I may not be. I think I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. Monique saying we are top 4 in most wins in the past 10 years. Yes, yes. The Raptors have been a winning franchise for the last 10 years. On the down low, we're up in there with every like Golden State and San Antonio, teams like that. In fact, I went and looked at the ESPN power rankings this morning. Yeah, they put them out every Monday, and they have moved us up. They had us at 15 last week, and now we're at 12. It may be that ESPN's writers and people that look at this stuff are watching Scotty this summer, and they're seeing an improvement and stuff like that. Maybe we need to knock the Raptors up a few spots in the power rankings is what ESPN's thinking right now, because they did. They gave us 3 spots over the last week. So I'm wondering, why is that? Maybe it's because all these Raptors are having badass summer highlights right now. So right now we're ranked number 12 on the ESPN power ranks, still below Brooklyn though, which is so stupid. Like seriously, I'm gonna say this right now. I'm gonna make a take right now, and you guys can see if I'm right by the end of the season. I think Detroit is gonna finish higher than Brooklyn in the standings this year. Yeah. I think the Pistons will have a better record than the Brooklyn Nets when the season's over at the end of this year. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Oh yeah. Okay, let's see. Rank Scrub saying when it comes to negative fan base, it's most toxic when there's an absence of good fans calling out what they see from their perspective. In my opinion, attitude can translate with energy going both ways. Yeah. Yeah. Listen, I like what you're saying. Like, listen, there needs to be a counterbalance and stuff like that. Like, if I'm out of pocket, if I say something that's totally asinine and messed up and I have a blind spot, I want you guys to call me out and correct me. I'm not the end all be all of everything is right. I know this. And no person should ever think that way in their head, that they are so smart that they just know everything. Every single day, we get lessons of how stupid we are and how we need to continue to listen and learn from everybody around us. Even if we think there's somebody that's stupider than us, you can always learn something from everybody. And I'm that way, like this way. Like, this is the thing. I may be very opinionated. I may be putting some political stuff out there. But like with the convoy last year, there were other opinions in the stream than mine. And we came to a consensus and we talked it out and we learned a more informed perspective by sharing different perspectives and having a more well-rounded look on it. Like, I was just against the convoy, but there were some people that came in here and told me why it would be good and what was good about it. And it did change my perspective in some ways. So I feel like that's really important, that in some of these spaces, like the Andrew Tate spaces, there's no other voice that's crying out like, this is fucked up, guys. And maybe there needs to be people like me in those spaces kind of helping with that. But then again, it becomes like a bullying thing. Oh, no, you're a loser. You're a simp or something, whatever dumb name that they're using to put down people and stuff like that. Whatever. It's all going to get figured out. And this is the thing. People are getting canceled and they're getting found out for being fucked up misogynist or something like that. And they're getting shown the door. And that's really good. That's the thing. This is progress. Even though people will be like, cancel culture, woke culture is fucked up and is wrong and stuff like that. No, it's progress. And we're getting to become a better society when we actually do care about more people in more ways. And this is a case where we're caring more about women, and how they're being treated by Andrew Tate is very, very wrong. And I love the Raptor fans that are female identifying that have come out and just slammed the shit out of him in the last day or so. Oh my gosh, so good. Tom Duke saying Alvin was great last year, I thought too. I really love Alvin Williams. I think he's going to be hilarious and more fun. I love when he just starts telling stories about when he played with Vince and back in the day, like Muggsy stories or stuff about Tracy McGrady, stuff like that. It's so good. Click saying athletes are dehumanized. This is so true. Oh my gosh. In fact, Click, being on the Twitch with Scotty yesterday, you were there. I saw you. It's really nice to get that insight, that open portal to see an athlete just in his natural environment and just being himself. It's really, really opened my eyes and made me realize that this is so true, that we really don't know these people deep down and that they are very complex and interesting in very, very interesting ways, like in their private lives that we would have no idea. And that we need to like respect things like when Kyle Lowry says, I can't play because of personal reasons. We need to respect things when people are out away from the game or having things going on in their lives that we don't totally understand and stuff like that. Let's see. Click saying money erases many problems, but money does not get rid of anxiety. Yeah, that's so true. In fact, what does Jay-Z say? Yeah, more problems. That's the thing. You get money, and then all of a sudden you have more problems. It's like one of the things that I'm noticing with Scotty in his first year with the NBA and stuff. He does not really understand fame. Like he does not understand how famous he is. He doesn't understand how much of an impact or a reach he has with his words, his influence, how much people will listen to him, how much he can have power in himself and what he says. Like, in fact, like the things that he's doing with the trade school and the scholarship, that's fantastic. That is exactly the kind of stuff he needs to be doing. But he also needs to watch out, like with if he's going to almost endorse somebody like Andrew Tate on his Twitch or something like that. Not saying he did, but he had a little bit of a weird reaction to all that stuff. He has to watch out because he can be very influential on young people. And that is something, Charles Barkley said, I shouldn't be a role model just because I can dunk. Well, sadly, you are, no matter what, because people will look to you for like wanting to be like you, like Mike. If I could be like Mike, I want to be like Mike. Well, they want to be like Scotty. So, Scotty, what you do will be getting mimicked by all the young kids around the world. And it's not just in Canada. You're going to have fans in the US. You're going to have fans on every continent of this world. Trust me. And he doesn't understand that. He's like, why are they taking pictures of me on Saturday when he's walking out? He's like, he sees his reaction. He comes out and they're all right in his face, taking his picture. He's like, why are they taking pictures of me? I'm not a big deal. What is it? He doesn't think he's a big deal yet in some ways, in some respects. It's really weird. And then he watches the Seattle Pro-Am clips and he sees LeBron's mom. He's like, yeah, look at how he's getting. And then he comes out there and he's like, throwing his hands up there, and then they all come and mob him, and they're trying to tell him, get off the court. We're trying to warm up. We're getting off the court. We're trying to warm up and stuff like that. And they're probably making that court so humid. I mean, that court obviously was wet because there's ice underneath it. And in a smaller arena like that one in Seattle where they tried to have that game on Saturday night, if they don't have a good ice crew and they just slap that basketball court on top of that ice, and there's a lot of heat in the building because there's so many extra people and stuff like that, that's why that court was unplayable. Is because there's ice underneath it because it's a hockey rink also and stuff like that. So, yeah, Click saying, I've been through bad shit with anxiety to the point where I thought I was going crazy. That experience changed my life. I don't care about having $1 million. I want to be happy. So with you, Click. Yeah, I've had my battles with depression and anxiety myself. And I know what you're talking about. And just imagine having those kind of battles, but being in the public eye and being scrutinized. Like, as much as I diss Ben Simmons, there's a part of me that feels really bad for him because he is so scrutinized and getting it really bad in different ways too, and stuff like that. We never know what the other person's perspective or what they go through is like until we're actually in their shoes and stuff like that. That's what I'm saying. Monique's saying, I kind of planned out my schedule for the season a bit. Anyone else? I'm trying to. I got to get through the preseason first. And then I'll really I got to get through this August and then the beginning of September. And then I'll start planning things a little bit more thoroughly because I really got some important things I got to take care of first. Click saying, my friend was paying his subscription to learn how to make money with investments. That's why I'm worried about Scotty streaming. What's said on the internet can't be taken back. He has to be very careful. Yeah, I'm worried about that too. And he's worried about getting clipped in different segments and different things like that, saying something, he is a loose cannon on there. For all of his worry about being in interviews or being on commercials or in TV or movies and acting, he's shy and scared. He's not shy to be on Twitch and just be himself there. And I think that's cool because we have that environment with him, but I also do see where it could be a problem. And I think he's pretty savvy about it. And also, don't get it wrong. I think there are people there that are helping him and looking out for him. And, I think guerrilla marketing, and I'm not sure him for sure, but he seems like he's always there, and he may have something to do with Scotty as management. And then also, Lloyd and those guys really are looking out for his best interests in a different level. And then Scotty has been briefed by his agent and probably by the team, Toronto Raptors, on what to do and what not to do as a public figure and a player. And he's probably very savvy and smart to it. Because like we said, we won't talk about certain things about the other people in the NBA and stuff. Although he was doing an interesting thing yesterday where he was comparing different players and asking us who we thought was better. He's like doing prime DeMarcus Cousins versus prime Blake Griffin. Who do you choose, chat? And we were having discussions basically about players versus players, like who do we like more and stuff like that. That was a lot of fun. I super enjoyed that discussion with Scotty and going back and forth. Now, at one point, he asked us who's better, Steph Curry or Kevin Durant. But because he has Kevin Durant banned from the chat, nobody could answer Kevin Durant. So all we saw was Steph Curry. And I put Steph Curry myself because I do believe that because Steph has more rings and he changed the game at a different level than Kevin. Although Kevin, like Scotty said, Kevin's the most unstoppable, greatest offensive player in the league in the history is what Kevin, that's what Scotty thinks Kevin Durant is. Those are his own words. So he was like on the other side. He thinks that Kevin Durant is way better than Steph Curry. But he's wondering why nobody was putting Kevin Durant's name in the chat. Well, it's because you banned Kevin Durant's name from the chat because of all the trade talk. So all he saw was a bunch of Steph Currys for answers. That's why, Scotty. So there were some people that were saying Kevin Durant, but they couldn't. Oh, it's so crazy. But no, getting back to your original point, this is true. Scotty really needs to watch out. And, as fans of his and people that really care about him and looking out for him, if he does do anything like this, we need to cover it up and try really hard to cover it up. If anything like this happens, or even like try and help steer him away from getting in trouble on there, like guerrilla marketing was doing yesterday when Andrew Tate came up. He's like, no comment, Scotty, no comment, just zip it. Don't say nothing about this. And he was right to say that and stuff like that. Monique saying Ben Carlos was part of the TO crew for years at games. Yeah, he's a cool dude. I know he means well, but he's also being an apologist for a misogynist who's really toxic and awful. And if you want to go down with that ship, Ben Carlos, you go ahead. You're going down with that ship. There was something, I'm going to say, like I said, there was something about him an energy about him that I knew was just a little off from watching his stuff. And now we find out a little bit more. Let's see. Random Gamer saying, I hate Andrew Tate so much. His following is literally nothing but a cult of boys who never had a girlfriend. Yeah, this is the thing we have to understand. There are people in the world that are kind of marginalized in different ways. Like we can talk about incel culture. We can talk about all this kind of weird shit with that and stuff. And this is kind of what we're talking about. And there are people that are desperate to feel like they belong. This is the same reason why somebody in a poor neighborhood joins a gang, because they want to belong. They want to have a feeling of being involved in something. Maybe this is part of why you guys joined the Raptorsfreak cult. We feel good belonging to something. Well, these young people are misguided and they want somewhere to belong, and they hear a voice like his and it's attractive. He tells them things they want to hear. He tells them things that helps them deal with their present situation in their life in a better way, but not in really a better way, in a toxic way. And that's really what it is. Andrew Tate preys on young men who don't have a very fully realized adult, mature view of the world. And that is the problem there. He influences them, and then they become like instilled with these kind of morals or identify with him and how he thinks and views women in the world. That is very destructive for that individual. And it's very much the same as the Trump cult, that they need to be deprogrammed to a degree. Like somebody who's a big Andrew Tate follower probably needs to be deprogrammed for their views on women to a degree. Much like how a cult 45 Trumper needs to be deprogrammed for some of the stuff they believe because of all the brainwashing that the Trump people have done to these people over the years recently. And it's the same exact kind of thing with Andrew Tate and stuff like that. Yeah. Raymond Jacobs saying, click, I have a bad feeling players who twitch could end up pulling a Myers Leonard. Scotty, be careful, eh? That's exactly a great example. Myers Leonard is a great example of what we're talking about. He was canceled because he was racist in his Twitch, and rightfully so in a way. It's almost like you're a little bit of a gambler. You're a little bit of a risk taker. You're up on that tightrope when you're on Twitch. And maybe it is a little bit risky. I want you to continue to do it, Big Four. Don't get me wrong. I'm really enjoying the quality time hanging out with you and interacting with you and stuff like that. And it's so badass that you read comments that I read you all the time and stuff like that. Hilarious stuff that we're telling you and stuff like that. And I love that you shouted out Tom Duke yesterday and all the different things you do on there. But also, this is the thing. The thing that matters the most to me is the Raptors winning Larry O'Brien. Is the Raptors being a winning team and having a good environment, a good culture, and going in the right direction. And, if Twitch is something that can cause problems for our team in any kind of way down the road, I am perfectly fine with sacrificing it to make sure that we keep winning. It is not that important to me to have that kind of connection to talk to him like this if it's going to mean it hurts our team. And that's what I'll say right now. Yeah. Let's see. Random Gamers taking a message back. Well, let's see. Click saying only thing that can save Scotty is his circle, team culture, surrounded by good people. Yeah, I think that's true. And I think he's really lucky. The Raptors are really good at this. Look at how they've taken care of all these guys in the recent past. This is just he's in the right place. He has good teammates to look up to. He doesn't have knuckleheads. Pascal and Fred are great teammates and role models for him. He could be on a team with really bad role models and things like that. So it is really good. And I think you're right. His circle, and in some ways, as Twitchers that are on with him on Twitch, we are in his circle to a degree. I mean, listen, he's coming in and talking to us, and he's like, we're confidants for him in a way. And he's telling us stuff that he's not, who knows? He probably looks at us as a part of his friend circle. Not specifically all but us and the individuals, but the Twitch stream is his friend and stuff like that. That's an outlet for him to have a connection to the public without being right in their face and talk directly with us and get opinions and see how we feel and find out stuff from us in that kind of way and stuff. So yeah, we want to make sure that we're good people there, whether it's the mods keeping people like Hamza out, or it's us protecting Scotty, maybe because he might have said something that's a little like the whole thing about him bashing Josh Allen a couple weeks ago, not realizing that there's a lot of Buffalo Bill fans in Toronto. And why are people standing up for Josh Allen when he's arguing who the best quarterbacks are in the league? Well, it's because Buffalo fans are here in Toronto and stuff like that. So you had to realize that. Or he's bashed what was it, another thing he did that was kind of like, oh, maybe don't say that. Is like, that's not probably a good thing to say just because it's not good. Oh, the thing when he opened up the pack and he got Embiid and he said, no, we're getting rid of him right away. That could have turned into something that could have been really bigger than itself. I mean, it was funny and it wasn't a big deal, but that kind of stuff can turn into something and things like that. So Monique saying, bring in Katie Heindel for Yahoo Sports for good. Didn't know about Ben. Yeah, well, it's not official. They basically called for his head yesterday. It's almost like Raptors Twitter, all the poobahs, all the leaders of it caught together, and they're like, we're going to decide this for Raptors Nation, and they're going to apply the pressure on Yahoo Sports to fire him, and he probably is already fired. I heard that his contract's up very soon, and they probably will replace him. And I think you just named a really good person to replace him, Katie Heindel, for sure. Yahoo, go get her and give her the big money to do the stuff for Raptors content on Yahoo Sports, please. Monique saying, what games would you like to see Pascal go off on the most this year? I don't know. I mean, listen, I would like to just see him be consistently going off every single game. I just want to see Pascal be the man every single night, night in, night out. Doesn't matter who we're playing, stuff like that. Maybe I'll say in particular Detroit, because we need to get Detroit this year. They beat us every time we played them last year. I hate that. We got to make sure we beat Detroit. And obviously, I want to beat the shit out of Boston, Brooklyn, Philly, Miami, Cleveland, all those teams, stuff like that. So, all right, getting back to our original subject to today. The Raptors beat Milwaukee Bucks January the 15th, 2022. Pascal Siakam got a triple-double, but then he didn't. And the Raptors really did it with 5 guys playing. It really was the championship 4 of Fred VanVleet, OG Anunoby, Chris Boucher, and Pascal Siakam, along with Precious Achiuwa, that carried the heavy water. With so many guys injured and guys that were not effective off the bench. This was a game where our bench was not effective and stuff like that. But we still won the game after a back-to-back, playing against Detroit the night before, losing badly too. Like, this was a game where we got routed by the Detroit Pistons in Detroit the night before. And then we went to Milwaukee and we were getting beat down bad in the first quarter. We were down like 29-6 in the first quarter. And then we came back and ended up winning this game against Milwaukee. A great Raptorsfreak Monday memory of January 15th of this past season, when the Raptors kicked the Bucks' ass, swept them for the season. Pascal had Bobby Portis in his face. He said, you're not intimidating me. I will have a response with my game. and I will get a triple-double, even though they will take it away from me in a week. But what a great Raptor Freak Monday memory. All right, tomorrow, trivia, 9:30 a.m. That's my opinion. My opinion is you're not going to show up. Once again, I really don't think you will show up, even though you came in here to talk some trash and stuff like that. All right, fun seeing Scotty on Twitch. If he's still here in Toronto and he's kind of just not, just working out, not doing a whole lot, I expect he's going to be on Twitch a lot this week, unless he's gotten on a plane, he's gone somewhere else now. But I felt it too yesterday. It was weird. I was outside taking a sunshine break, and I felt something weird in my bones around 2:00. I was like, I think Scotty's online. And I was right. I came inside and he was on, and he tried to get on a couple times, but his volume wasn't working. And then he got on finally again an hour later and stuff. But that's weird. Like, I have a sixth sense, even when I'm not monitoring him. I was like, Scotty's online? I felt it somehow. I knew it. I don't know how. But yeah, I expect him to be on today if he's still here in Toronto, just hanging out. And he does a morning workout at OVO. Maybe he jumps on this afternoon. And then maybe he's on, he goes back and works out again later. Or maybe he's on tonight. But yeah, Twitch watch is fully in effect right now because I think Scotty will be around. All right, guys, thanks for watching me today. I appreciate you watching and following, whatever, liking, whatever you guys do. I really do appreciate it. Thanks for being here. Monique, Tom, Raymond, everybody, Random Gamer. Tom Duke saying, I just fluke out whenever I catch him too. SB4, Army growing. Yeah, it's so fun. And I'm glad you guys were there for most of it yesterday. It was it's really fun to have regulars from here in the Twitch stream with Scotty also, because you guys can see all the fun and really enjoy it too and stuff like that. All right. And he did say yesterday, he's like, he's going to do more just chatting on Twitch because he's really getting frustrated. Like when Armani Brooks beat him in multiverses yesterday, he was mad. He was very mad. He did not like losing to him. And then when people are telling him, oh, go play 2K, go play COD, he's like, I'm not playing 2K until 2K23 comes out. I'm done with 2K22. And he did not want to play COD. He's just sick of playing games and losing and feeling the loss and stuff like that. Isla Flop saying, later, Alex, I have to check out Scotty's Twitch stream. Yeah, it's 4 hours, very, very long. If you really want to find a really good spot to start at, Flop, he does the multiverses with Armani in the first 2 hours of the stream. And around the 2-hour mark, he watches his highlights from Saturday night here in Toronto with Malachi. And that is really the best fun stuff is when he's watching basketball highlights and stuff like that. So check out about 2 hours into his Twitch from yesterday. You'll find the real gold and stuff like that. And maybe you'll see some of the Hamza drama too. Tom Duke's heroics and stuff like that. Big ups, Tom Duke, once again. Bam, bam. Twitch MVP yesterday. And so much love in my heart for Granny Evelyn, Angelo, and baby Candace, and everybody in Evelyn's family. All right, guys, have a great Monday. I'll see you guys tomorrow for trivia. Let's go Raptors!